Hey, what's going on, YouTube? So we're here with Walsh, Joe, and Cody, and we're TLD. We're live, and we're gonna chat. So let's get going. So let's start off, Walsh, with your primary arms video you had this week. Tell us a little bit about that.
So full essay, I've had that optic. I was actually with you when we got it. We got it back in October, November. So I really do feel bad that it took us so long to review that. But we had, I think that's kind of when the channel really started picking up. And I was like, man, I don't really have something to put this on. And I was still learning the Tika, so I didn't want to have to like take it all apart to test this optic out when I really didn't really understand the Tika myself already. So it didn't make sense. So we finally got around to it. What 5 months later, we've had that Apollo 6.5 forever. So I even apologize to Primary Arms for taking so long. I think that thing is absolutely killer. Like, I don't know if you guys saw some of the actual like glass clarity. It is just bonkers, and I love it. You know, you start thinking of like, yeah, you could reach really far, like, or you could solve the same problem the other way. Make a really powerful gun, like a short gun, right? And that you can just rapidly engage. So that's what I thought when I saw the BDC.
Yeah.
I was like, man, if I knew how to use this BDC right, I could engage out to 600 with touching nothing and just tagging things. I don't need to reference anything. It doesn't matter. I can just sit and hit those targets.
Nice. Is that the one where the mailman walked up and handed me a package, and I was like, "Oh, thank you." We didn't know what it was.
No, that was the 1x8, the one I really love. That really nice primary arms one. By the way, I'll just shout out real quick, Cody. I don't know if you saw this. Dawson's saying hello. He's our friend over out there. We love him when he comes out here and supports us. He's affiliated over with Crimson Trace, so he helps us set some things up and Wheeler and everything. So big thanks, Dawson.
I was actually going to shout him out today. I'm glad he came out.
Yeah. What'd you have for him?
No, I was just gonna. I don't know if anybody that watches the videos knows really what goes on in the background. I know we mention it every once in a while, but we wouldn't be anywhere where we're at now without people like Dawson. So, huge shout out to him. I know you do a lot of stuff on the background that even the rest of the team doesn't see, but he's been a huge help and a huge asset to the growth of our channel.
Yep, big thanks, man.
Yep.
So Joe, was there anything you felt like, I kind of go to you for some wisdom on that kind of that build, that tactical build? Is there anything I kind of missed from like a short range engagement standpoint?
No, I think that you did an awesome job in the video, and I honestly, you and I have gone back and forth over the last year, right, about more high-powered optics, and it's not necessarily being able to shoot a human-sized target standing up at 1,000 yards. You also want an optic that can see, a jackrabbit or somebody prone or whatever. Just think of a small item laying down close to the ground, and you hit the nail on the head on that video. I almost even text you after I watched the video, but I restrained myself. So in that you zoomed it all the way in, and you were still using it at what, 30 power? It's a 30 power?
Yeah, at 300 yards.
Yeah, and then you were like, I can see the marks on the target. And I'm like, exactly, Walt, exactly. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So, no, I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I think a really good optic. And once you get away from the range and you start, I've done a lot of varmint hunting, right? I've done more varmint hunting than any other type of hunting. So I lived in Idaho for a while, and the varmint are rampant out there. If you go out shooting prairie dog, stuff like that, when you're 400 yards away and a prairie dog pops its head out of a hole, you can see that in that scope. A 1 to 6, a 1 to 8 at 400 yards, you can see probably a groundhog sitting on top of a hill, but you can't see them if you're behind a weed, if low to the ground, popping a head out. So you hit the nail on the head. I like that optic. I love that tree. I'm kind of jealous, actually. I don't have a 6.5, and I think you said that the actual glass in that is etched for 6.5.
Or 224. Hey, or 224. You could go back to that.
Yeah, I mean, I would want that same exact glass, only mill dots instead of any type of round, right? So I'd want that same glass etched in, half a mil or a mil increments all the way down, because then I could do my own range guard.
No, that makes sense. And that's kind of where I go back and forth on some of those. I love to have the dedicated BDCs, but then sometimes I'm like, well, I also, you got that give and take, right? You have that dedicated BDC where you don't have to reference anything and remember anything, but then you lose the versatility of the round. You know, you're like,
Right.
I can only do this one round. Oh, I have a 308. I can't put it on there.
You hit the nail on the head when I really like that Primary Arm included that booklet, because my thing about the ballistic specific or the round specific is there's so many different grains, powders, projectiles, if you're hand loading, that you can throw your entire optic off just from going from a 170 to 195 or whatever, 185, whatever you want to shoot. You can throw that whole ballistics off where it don't even work, and you're using a 6.5.
And think of it, if I came to visit you, Joe, like think of if I came to visit you, that whole tree, you could throw out the window. I'd have to kind of assess where everything falls because
I'm at 7,000 feet and you're at what, 4,000?
I have one, I think.
Oh, dang, yeah. So that, but when you went through the owner's manual, it said specifically feet per second, so that at least helps, right?
Mm-hmm.
It helps a little. Like a heavier bullet, if going to go further, I know it sounds weird, but a heavier projectile will actually keep its path further than a light projectile, right? It starts losing speed more and it starts dropping more. That's why 224 Valkyrie better than 556 at distance, because of the double the grainage of projectile. But it at least helps. It helps with that. So I would just want a mil dot so then I could do my own little shooting card. And then you said on the last show when we were talking to Crimson Trace, right? Crimson Trace last show, that you would print out the bullet drop compensator optic and then put it on the inside of your scope cap. I think that's a phenomenal idea.
If you think about it, it'd be the same thing. Like that BDC would then still be right in front. You'd still like be able to reference it in a split second.
Yeah, you wouldn't. At least you wouldn't have to look down at the ground where your book's laying. Yeah. I think I've even seen something that like a small square that like mounts to your Picatinny rail and comes out, and that you can put a card on that. But your idea way better.
Yeah, I think having it there is having it underneath the cap just makes it easier. Like I understand we have the card, but you kind of have to set that up. But we think more in terms of like tactical. Like I like that.
Even if you just placed it and said, every 100 yards, you didn't even have to have like an optic picture.
No, yeah, you're right.
Anything in 200, you're going to put it on it and fire for effect. But after 300, you can do 300, 1 mil, 400, 2 mil, 500, 4.5 mil, or whatever it is.
And that's close enough to me. Like if I don't need to be within a 0.1 mil, I mean, let's throw out to 1,000, then I need to be that close. But other than that, you don't really need it. Yeah,
and it's crazy because I don't ding on anybody. If you want to adjust your turrets every time before you take a shot, adjust your turrets, man. Especially in hunting, that's probably what you want to do because you have time, right? You're only shooting one animal, 400 yards out. You need it to stop walking anyway. You're taking a breath. You're taking a good shooting platform. You're gonna slow down anyway. So in that case, adjust your turrets. But it's awesome to see you kind of have a change in your mindset, because when you first started shooting at distance, when you were shooting the gun that we shall not discuss, you wanted a scope that would adjust your turrets. And I kept telling you, bro, just learn holdover and use holdover. But you're trying to hit the bullseye shots, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the difference. When you're hunting, you're trying to get a double lung heart shot when you're hunting. When you're just firing to protect yourself, we'll put it that way, firing to protect yourself, a hit's a hit. A squishy part is a squishy part. Like,
yeah,
you're good to go.
What's interesting about that, the way I have that set up, I really love how it has both the 50, 200, 0, like roughly there. It's a little bit different because it's 6.5, not 5.56, but it's close enough where out to 200, you're just straight near the chevron, close enough, and then you just go out to 600 without any adjustments. So it's interesting to think about a tactical rifle with tactical accuracy of a 6.5, and you're like, yeah, man, I'm just like, what are you guys going to grab? Things are going crazy. I'm going to bring the 6.5 and 4 magazines. Like, that's nuts, man. Like, yeah, we'll be all right. Like the stop, like that different level of stopping power. So real quick, interrupting, Dawson. Yeah, I know your comment says, no problem, guys. Labor of love. We really do appreciate it. I know you're gonna be around for a long time, so appreciate it. Cody, I'm gonna be pulling up some comments as we're talking though.
Yeah. So
Cody,
compared
I want your opinion on this too. So we're talking about squishy parts, right? So in law enforcement, we have to qualify, and military too, right? Military law enforcement, you have to qualify every whatever, and especially with pistol, you have to hit a circle for the chest, a circle for the head, and then we're trained on pelvic girdles. It always, just annoyed the heck out of me when somebody would take a headshot and they would hit right in the throat, right in the throat, and they wouldn't count that hit. They wouldn't count it. Like, that's a missed shot.
Well, we talk about the triangle of death, right? So tip of your nose and your nipples, right? So if you hit in there, dude's dead. I don't care who you are. I mean, you could have body armor on, whatever. If I'm gonna hit you in this area,
right,
you're not gonna. You're not gonna.
And in the throat, you're gonna have a couple seconds to do something about it. But I guarantee you're not sending lead as effectively, if at all, back at me.
And one thing I thought it was interesting, as just I'm obviously not civilian, but not having as much tactical training as you guys, is I hear a lot of people aiming center, but not to hit center mass or something, but to aim for the spine. Because then once you hit the spine, dude drops. Like, he could not, I mean, he doesn't have to necessarily die, but he's not going to be returning fire, which I thought was
in what Cody's saying, there's also a point in the head area, the fatal T, where in between the eye down to the tip of your nose, if a round goes there, it's instant, it's you drop. That's what sniper aim for whenever they're a hostage situation.
Yeah. And if I got hit in the mouth, I probably wouldn't die, but my engagement in the fight would be very little.
Right.
Yeah.
And it completely depends, because I saw a video once in training that their officer up against a door, and they breached the door, right? And the person up front was on a knee and he had a shotgun. And right when they used the battering ram and opened the door, there was a guy with a shotgun standing right there. And he fired from a down position, from a knee position, fired up. And with a shotgun, a 12 gauge, took out a heart. It just annihilated a heart. And he was standing for about 20 seconds, went down to a knee, but he didn't collapse and die from his wounds till about 40 seconds in.
Yeah. And that's
so,
yeah, it takes a minute to bleed out. Like, that's what people don't realize.
Yeah. It's crazy. So I'm glad go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say, where was it that the female police officer was still engaging the target and she got shot in the face or the neck?
Oh, yeah, that was recent. Yeah, and her partner got shot.
Right. And she was rendering aid and engaging the target all while bleeding out of her neck. So, yeah.
And it shows you what adrenaline does, like, even when you're outside working on something, like, I know I'm a ding dong when it comes to maintenance. Sometimes I go out to my car and I'll come back and my hands will just be bloody, but I've been so focused, and even something simple like that, I'm so focused on what I'm working on, you don't realize you're just smashing yourself to pieces. And same with, I'm sure you heighten that level even higher.
Because I promise you, I would rather get a shot off that hits anywhere on paper in half a second than a perfectly placed center mass shot right in the bullseye at a second.
And that's the biggest thing you taught me, because you're like, well, you're doing these super accurate shots, but in reality, you don't have to. Because if you shoot at someone, you're going to have time for the next one, because they're going to be having to respond to that. So get the first one off quickly, because that's really who decides who wins, because then they're having to respond to that, and then you have time to realign the second shot. So it's really about first engagement. Kind of what I learned from you. Not so much like, I did this perfect A-zone shot. Like, that's cool, man. You probably lost.
Yeah. And
I think the most effective training. Go ahead, Joe.
As law-abiding citizen, like we all are, you're always going to be behind the power curve because you're reacting. You're not doing the initial actions. You're always reacting. So you're already behind the power curve.
Yep.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, the most effective training that I've had, and Joe as well, was simunitions. So when you shot the sim rounds at Fletsy, that's instant feedback. Like, oh, I had my elbow sticking out too far, so guess what? it got hit. Or, oh, you know, I had my head up and, you know, I wasn't behind cover, it got hit. Or whatever. I was trying to run from cover to cover and I got hit. So that was very effective.
Yep, it
and
teaches
a lot of
you
people don't
3
get that
foot
kind of
off
training.
the wall. Yep, it teaches you 3 foot off a wall in pie corners. That's what it teaches you.
Or you get pain. Like that's why you learn it. Like you're not from like, well, this happens to me. Like, no, you get if you mistake it, you get pain. That's how you learn it.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
interesting.
You get hit
I
in the knuckles.
Comments too.
Yeah. Hey, Misfit, I don't think those were in stock. I think that was a early thing that they were talking about, right? The laser light.
Yeah, it's coming out, I think.
Yeah, and Dawson responded to him. He said he'll do some digging for him. But yeah, I think, Misfit, I think the one you're talking about, the one that they mentioned last week, comes out. Didn't they say June? I want to say summertime.
Yeah, or
No,
you said
no,
a
we're
couple
talking
weeks.
about the laser flashlight for the AR.
Yeah, Misfit, let us know which one you're talking about. Like which laser light combo you're talking about.
Pull that up, Braden.
Okay, copy.
It was on that. Yeah, it was on that coming out soon or new items or something like that.
Yeah, and it had the rechargeable battery. Like you take the battery out, and the battery had the recharger in the bottom of it. That was it was a platform that goes on a Picatinny rail.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah, that's a good point, Eyes Wide Shut, about adrenaline. And not only that, but think about somebody that's hyped up on some kind of drug or something. I have family that are there in law enforcement, and they talk about all the time, you know, engaging with someone that's, you know, coked up on something. So yeah, adrenaline plays a lot into how your body reacts to any kind of pain.
Yeah, and not even shooting somebody, you know, just going hands on. Like,
right.
Oh man, you're standing in line and somebody bumps you and they want to fight you. You gotta really think through on how you're gonna do that. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I think
that thing's awesome.
Is that the one you're talking about? Yeah.
Oh, that's on an M-Lok too. That's not on a Picatinny. My bad.
M-Lok. So yeah, I don't know if Dawson knows or can say, but he may be able to give us a reasonable date for those. I remember they said last week they were shooting for summer, so probably why you don't see those available yet. They're not yet. Even some of the Crimson Trace that we were talking about isn't completely available in all stores yet. I think it's pretty sporadic as to what's actually in the retailers right now.
Yeah, but know that Dawson, he looks at the comments and stuff. So any of the live video, and you can see him commenting now, just go ahead and throw it in the comments. That's why we do the live videos. So everybody, all of our viewers can get engaged with everybody. Throw it in there and you'll probably get your questions answered.
And these are like like Dawson's like in the business. So I mean, by talking in here to him, you're kind of getting an inside scoop into things you probably can't even Google and find. Like there's no way to really find that information. So like, as always, big thanks to him for just letting our viewers know where to find things. He's saying that if it's the AR version, it isn't out as of now, but I'll keep the chat posted for anyone updated. Yeah. And I think we talked to, Misfit, thanks for the update. We talked to him and Crimson Trace, and we're going to get some of those, at least one for the channel. We're hoping anyway, and we'll be able to check it out for you. More than likely, we'll be able to do a giveaway on those. They're trying to make that a pretty big deal. So if we get to review it, I'm pretty sure we'll be able to do a giveaway for one.
I want one for my PCC.
Yeah, I think if one of you guys get it, I'm going to have to actually bust out my my O-Light and try to trade it for it.
Even the shot, I would totally do it. I would. Oh, I don't know. I have to see though. I kind of like that thing. But trading for the legendary buckshot killed O-Light.
Yeah.
I could show an optic in a review, and during the review, there's just this super destroyed flashlight, and the number of people that would just be losing their mind that I don't have super Gucci gear. Like it makes me so happy. Like I
would JB well not an O-Light.
Not only that, but there are brand managers out there that know of Joe and not to send him stuff. So he's famous.
Very true.
Oh, he's just gonna break it. Thanks, Dawson. And as Dawson was saying, Misfit, he'll let me know as it gets closer when we get kind of nearer a date. I'm sure we'll start setting things up. That way you can know when it's actually available. And we can probably let you know where to find it before it just randomly shows up on somewhere. So we'll keep you in the loop.
So
what other video
going
did
back,
we have?
I was going to say one more thing about the primary arms. Going back to that real quick, compared to the Crimson Trace, what are we talking about level wise? Are they comparable or no?
They are, but a little bit apples and oranges. And I say that because one is a 4x16 and one is a 6x30.
Yeah.
So
And one is like
BDC and one is MilDot.
And one's double the price, ain't it?
Yeah. I mean, we're talking,
you got to pay more to get more.
and we're talking significantly double the price. Now, the interesting piece is Crimson Trace, that Hardline Pro, they do have a 5x24 somewhere in there, near that magnification range, but it's half the price. So that's where things start to get interesting. And Joe, that one actually does use a MilDot. So it just uses the mil cross, same as I was using on that one. So it makes it more multi-caliber. It doesn't have the. I mean, I think they're coming out with some. I hope that Dawson, they should do the Christmas tree.
Yes, I hope
a MilDot Christmas tree would be absolutely awesome, because then you could do exactly what you said. We could just use dope cards. I could come out to where you're at, do a dope card, know where my MilDots are at. Come out here, okay, 1,000 yards, 1,000-foot elevation-ish. Here's my dope card, and know kind of where we're at when we go to different places. You're still gonna have to do dope cards, but you can start to learn it. But with the BDC, how it is, you don't have a way to measure, like to adjust. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, my 600 yard here is 5.4, but when I'm with Joe, it's 4.2. That's easy with a MilDot and with the Christmas tree. But when you have a BDC already set, you kind of got to be like, okay, I have to click 3 times when I'm over 400, and then click 2 more times over 600.
Yeah,
it's not super complicated, but you got to remember a lot of weird stuff.
It's way more complicated than what I want to deal with.
Yep.
Okay.
Dang.
That's
April 19th.
Yeah.
April 19th.
I'm trying to read these comments out. So yeah, Dawson says no deal. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah. So for your 6.5 Creedmoor, which one would you prefer at this point?
Oh, okay. So, we really get into a difficult question, and I say this, and Joe's gonna probably be so proud of me, but mission dictates gear. So you say what we're gonna do, and my answer to that would vary on what we're gonna do. If I was going to engage targets between 100 and 400 yards, I would do the 4x16 because it's so light. I would put it on a lightweight weapon where we could engage. Like if we're gonna go hunting, Cody, I'd be like, I told you, I put that 4x16 on a hunting gun in like 2 seconds because it weighs nothing, and we could easily move with it. Equally, like if that had a Christmas tree, if it had the Christmas tree on it, I would switch it out on the 6.5 because then I have a 4x16 that I could engage out to 600 yards that would weigh nothing. I would probably switch it out. But that BDC just is its own weapon system. Like it sounds like so cliche, but it really is in the fact that I can just look through the optic and do everything I need to do. I don't need to reference anything else. And then I can get on target. I can do everything. I can adjust. Boom, done, fire. I've already done everything. I can move positions then. It's just crazy.
And it depends on where you live. Like if you live on the East Coast or up in Washington, Oregon, where you can't see 2 feet into a forest. Like you can't see 2 feet into the woods. But like where I live in Colorado, even if you're in the woods, you can see 300 yards because the trees are scarce. Or in Kansas, where there ain't nothing, then you need something that can reach out. You need something to look further.
And the 30 times optic, I don't know if you guys saw that, but I mean, we're talking a 12-inch plate at 600 yards was almost filled like half the size of the optic. You don't need that. You don't need that to make an accurate. We could probably hit that with the 16. I probably could hit it without even missing a single shot, because you have that much like variability in where you can miss with the 6.5. Like you have a lot of leeway.
Yeah, but if you shooting rock chucks, I don't know if anybody ever seen a rock chuck. Like a groundhog, only it's better camouflaged and they live in the rocks. But you shooting rock chucks in Idaho at 400 yards, you need an optic just to make out what you're shooting at because they look like rocks. They do. They look like rocks. You shooting a deer, that different story. A deer skylights itself really well. So you shoot a squirrel at 200 yards, you need something to see that.
Misfit's actually asking a good question, and I think we're all in the same boat for this now. But so he's saying 6.5 Creedmoor or 308 for an Arrow AR-10 build. Number one, we love AR builds. Those AR-10 builds are awesome. So you're right on the money there. And I'm going to tell you, and they may battle me on this one, is 6.5 Creedmoor. And I'm going to say why. Because the mill adjustments you need, if you say, so he's saying mainly for target hunting practice out to 500 yards. You're talking 3 mil. It's all you need for adjustment. You probably don't even need to do any turret rotation if you go on to 500. You just need 3 for a 6.5. If you do a 308, your adjustment is significantly higher. So and your area of error. So the 6.5 trajectory is so tight and so good, really. You can be off by a couple, like, oh, I was off by 0.3 mils. Like, whoops, oh well, you still hit it. Like, yeah. 308, you gotta be on it. And it's like your range of error, like, okay, you're at 6.1. Nope, you need to be at 6.4. Oops, you missed.
Go ahead, Cody.
Which one can you find ammo for right now?
Bingo.
Neither. I think that's the answer, right?
True. That's the most true.
No, not neither. You can find bulk steel case 308 right now. They had it on PSA.
You can't find 6.5. I have this. I was telling the group one day, I have this S&B that they made fun of me about shooting when I was first shooting the 6.5 because it was junk ammo. It was 50 cents. It was 50 cents a round. But I'm just learning, so why shoot the expensive stuff? Think of what did I show you guys? $4 a round.
Yeah,
and that's trash. Like, that's trash ammo. So then we get to the other question.
I would say this: you said out to 500 yards. Within 500 yards, I would say stick with a 308. Why I say that is the prepper mentality. In ammo shortages or zombie apocalypse times, 308 is the NATO round. You can find that ammo everywhere. So if you're scavenging for ammo, if you're scavenging for casing to make ammo, 308 you're going to find in more places than you are 6.5. Now, what Walsh was saying, past 500 yards is where the 6.5 really shines. So if you want something that's going to shoot accurately out to 1,000, a 308 can't do it. It goes subsonic. Most rounds, don't kill me in the comments, most rounds go subsonic after about 800. So yeah. After 500, I think the 6.5 is a way better gun, but I think closer than 500 with ammo, like Cody said, 308, you're better go-to for me. That's just me. I have an AR-10, and I chose to build it in 308 for that exact reason.
And I had a
6.5 Creedmoor, and he sold it, so that tells you all that you need to know.
I would love to do a 16-inch, either 308 or 6.5 Creedmoor. Just do like a little 16-inch, just straight up battle rifle, and get some sweet BDC for it, and just be able to engage everything. Like, oh yeah, I can only hit out to 700, but I'm not shooting out to 700 past that anyway. So who cares?
And we'll see if. I was going to say we'll see if when the ammo crisis goes away, I'm sure a lot more of these companies are going to pick up the 6.5 and start producing them, and they may become readily available. But the 308's tried and true, and like Joe was saying, you can find that in a post-apocalyptic scenario. I have a couple of beers tonight, so I mean that's something to think about. Like Walsh was saying earlier, which the mission's going to dictate what you need. So
yeah, like you told me, like, hey Walsh, you're going to be the guy out. You're going to be Overwatch 500 yards to 700 yards. Hey, grab the 308. But dude, that would not be a good call.
No, I take 6.5 for that.
Yeah. If you're like, hey, we're going to hunt varmints, we need to do some survival. We're going to hunt varmints inside 500 yards. Hey, grab a 308. But okay, cool.
Yeah. And that's another good point. If you want a 16-inch barrel, don't even bother with the 6.5. You just destroyed what the 6.5 is made for. So if you want a shorter barrel, if you're hiking around in the woods and you don't want to be catching it on everything, then build a 308.
A 16-inch 308 with a sweet optic on it. We do either BDC or mil dot would be. I would do a mil dot Christmas tree 16-inch 308. Ooh, that would just be brutal. Anyway, Misfit was saying 308's easier to find these areas. So that answers that too.
Yeah.
As Joe was saying, under 500, really, we go 308 based on your area and your needs and your mission set.
I mean, 308's really good out to realistically about 700. After that, you need to start looking at your loads and looking at everything out to 700. So, too easy.
That is the correct answer, Oz. Watch it.
Yep, 100%.
So yeah. Yeah, so if you guys watch, he said the answer is to build both.
Yeah.
It's like we got thoughts.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that always happens. It's like I find the perfect gun, right? So that that Ruger PCC that I got, I was like, oh, this is perfect. This is what I want. And a couple months later, they came out with different models that would have fit my mission set a lot more. So it doesn't matter. You're always going to find something that you're going to want. You'll build the perfect weapon and something better is going to come out. So,
yeah, that's when you just keep buying them.
Yeah.
To this day, I've never sold a personal gun. To this day.
Joe, how many guns was I supposed to have? One? Is that what? How many was I supposed to have?
No, you were going to have two.
Two?
Yeah, a pistol and 300 blackout.
That's right. That's all I was supposed to have. Now I have what? 8?
I don't know, dude. I counted
how many pistols you have.
I still. Well, technically one. That's what gets funny. Technically, there's only one, but there's only one fire control group. But there's like 8 builds you can do. Yeah.
Yeah. I have more pistols than you have guns.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
A little plug for Chuck while we're at it.
Oh yeah. So yeah, we got holsters. I don't know where mine's at.
Dude, I'm so excited about the holsters.
Let me see. I got a cool one. Let me see if mine's right.
Yeah.
Well, while I was looking for that, I know when we had Chuck on, a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
No, it's upstairs.
Look how thick this Kydex is.
Yes,
it's double layered.
Double layered. So here's a good example of one that's not double layered.
Yeah.
This is a very good one, considerably very good. This is a Makinatech. Cody, show yours. Okay, so this is a very good Makinatech, and that's 1441 gear. That's 2. It's more than 2 of these pieces of Kydex. Yeah. If I put a step on this, I guarantee you I could break this. I could break this stepping on it. Yeah. I could probably
I can't even crush this.
I could probably run over that 1441 gear, and it would do nothing. Like,
is that a challenge?
I mean, you could see, but like, look how much flexibility is in this. Like,
now we should say that not all of them come with double layered, right, Cody? You ordered the outside the waistband.
This is the Bellator.
Yeah.
So you're asking. Yeah, that's what I have also. I have the Bellator also. Because we're running it mostly on our battle belts, but we're also running the Paratus too. That the Bellator, the one, his battle belt version is the one that's the double thick.
Yeah, the other one, the everyday carry holster that you order, the inside the waistband, and the ones that are designed to mount on your actual like normal belt, are just single layer.
Here, Harry, I'm gonna pull it up on the website for you.
Yeah, this was black, so it's not gonna show up as. Let me get my fat face out of the way. But this is only single layer, but this is inside the waistband appendix carry.
Yeah, I mean, it's obvious. Look how many holsters we have from him now. Like, normally we do a review and then we move on from something, right? We all have holsters from Chuck now. Like, yes, I'm gonna go on our website and order one right now because. But dude, don't stop showing that one, bro. Stop showing that one.
Why? You want that one?
Because it makes me mad that I didn't do a crazy color on the inside of mine. That's why. Yeah. I did gray and black.
I did red.
You want me to go grab mine from upstairs? Because mine is crazy.
Yeah, we'll chit chat for a second.
Okay, I'll keep that open so they can see what the options. I'll go grab it.
Hey, wait, before you go, what is our discount code for that?
I'll put it in the chat.
Okay. Yeah, you'll have to, when you come back, look up our discount code for that.
I have it. I'm going to throw it in the chat right now.
I think it's TLD10, but
it's whatever. TLDCO.
TLDCO. So that'll save some money for people.
And then, just so you guys know, you can use Thin 10 for Crimson Trace too.
What, TLD10?
No, Thin 10.
Thin 10? Oh, yep. For thin line?
Yeah, for thin line. Okay, let me go get mine real quick.
All right. Yeah, so, and not only is it's Chuck's craftsmanship on point, but his customer service is none other. Like he texted me, he called me once and texted me throughout the process. I know with COVID, he was having some issues getting some small and minor parts in, but he stayed engaged with me throughout the process, making sure I knew where, you know, my products were. But I will say, and this is not, I wish he would have made the screen a little bigger, but this is not Chuck's fault whatsoever. But I have I don't know if you can see that, but I have a shroud on my Romeo 1. And when I got this, it bumped on here. I just shaved it down a little bit on this side, and it fits perfectly. I'm going to have that same issue with this holster. But again, that's nothing that Chuck could have avoided because I didn't even tell him I have this shroud on here. So without the shroud, it would have fit perfectly.
Hey, Walsh, make Cody picture biggest. Highlight Cody. There you go.
Yeah. So there's that shroud. It's free and clear, by the way. I know I'm pointing and flagging myself. But
What'd you say? Let me see the red, please.
oh, okay.
The inside of it. Why is your light so bad?
Because I got this little ring light way up there. It's way up high.
I got the same one. I don't know if my light's any better. So yeah, okay. So
You all the way upstairs showing the same holster Cody has.
yeah, but mine's. See, I just saw his light. But mine is, so I did go with the crazy colors. You can see inside if that's what you want to see.
Yeah.
It's the same basic thing. We just picked different light profiles. I don't think I actually did. Cody, is yours for the PL2 Mini?
Yeah.
So this is just a weird info you. If you get a holster for the Balder Mini, it fits both the all-light Balder Mini and the PL2 Mini. But the PL2 Mini cut only fits that. So the Balder Mini actually fits both. But yeah.
Cool. I like the snake skin. That looks like from Division, bro.
Oh. But we got I gotta show these off too, but he's got me all like the magazine pouches too. So
Oh dang.
that weird like snake skin kind of camo look into, and the mags are really nice. Like they actually.
Harry Baloney, the red looks better in person, right, Cody? The red looks better than what. I mean, you can't really see what it's coming up as, but
yeah,
it looks better in
I don't
person.
know if I can.
Like the stuff he gives, actually you can set the retention so you don't have to worry about it just like falling out.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that better?
Sorry, Cody. Yeah, here, let me highlight you. Oh, yeah.
Everything backwards and upside down.
Yeah. I'm all retarded.
You should have been a light guy.
Yeah, I'm excited.
One thing that I know a lot of companies don't do is Chuck offers the QLS system with his holsters. And let me speak from personal experience. Just pay the extra, whatever. I think it's $20. Pay the extra, have him put it on, because I did not, and I put it on myself, and it was a biatch. I did not like it.
Well, and also you've got to make sure you have the hardware. Most people don't have the appropriate hardware. Like I've done a bunch of these, so I have a ton of this hardware sitting around. But I would say the average person wouldn't have the correct screws you need, and sometimes you need spacers depending on certain things, or if you wanted to sit off your body a certain way, you got to have all the different nonsense. But I love, if you're not using QLS, if you were shooting like with our group, you would just be able to just swap out belts and holsters and whatever. Like, hey, let me try out your firearm. We'll just hand each other a holster and just swap them out. I mean, assuming you're all left-handed like you're supposed to be.
No.
But that's what's cool is we can just switch everything out. I mean, Cody can anyway.
I mean, I can swap it out with you, but I'm just going to be dual wielding like you should be.
Yeah. So, good question. So, I haven't used this holster yet, appendix carry. I've been carrying a Stealth Gear USA appendix carry for 10 years. Yeah. And I love it. And my girth does not get in the way of that one. This one, I'm not sure yet. Like I said, I haven't worn it. And this is for my pistol in the carry configuration, I carry subcompact, a subcompact 320. So we'll see. But I tend to get my pants bigger, loosen up my belt. I showed you guys in that belt video how I kind of move everything around a little bit. I leave my pants big, so when I sit down, I can kind of pull everything up so it's not digging into my manhood.
Okay,
And I think you got Jason on the appendix carry. At least he's gonna try it. He's gonna try appendix carry because
I'm pretty dedicated too. But where exactly? And this is just a newer appendix question, newer appendix carrier shooter question. Where do you point the barrel? Is it more pointed straight towards the meat, or is it more towards like the inner of your thigh? You're like for you, your left thigh.
Yeah, I'm also a white male, so I'm not too endowed. So, but when I'm already circumcised, so my gun when it sits in my belt, I kind of tilt it over a little bit. So it is like if it went off, it would hit me right in the junk, but not in my artery in my leg. And I'm left-handed, so it is a little more to my left side.
Little more. Okay, so but it's more on the right side than canted kind of to the left.
It's more on my left side, also because of my button on my pants. So I leave it just left of my button.
Okay, but then canted towards your strong side.
Yep.
This is Harry.
And I'm a quarter Puerto Rican too, so that might be where the rest of it
Okay,
comes
so trying to make decisions. I'm going for artery. Like I don't want to live that life.
I've already had kids, so junk all day. I can pee in a bag.
Y'all are ridiculous. Y'all are ridiculous. See, this is why I wear mine. I used to do right in the small of my back, and I've started carrying it more I'm right-handed, more to the right side. So like where my love handle is on the right side. But yeah, I still carry wrong though. Everybody says I carry wrong. I get it. I don't care what people say, but I carry for a palm out draw. So I have to buy left-handed holsters to wear in the small on my back more towards the right side. So the magazine pointing towards the right. So when I reach back, it's just, I don't get a full grip on the tang. I don't get a full grip on the tang, and I get that, and I might have to readjust, but I train with it. So I train with that. I'm accurate with my first shot. If I have to readjust, that's fine. But with a t-shirt and jeans in the summer, like that's the only place I can conceal besides appendix. So
I think
y'all
I've always been a fan of your palm out draw, and I always wanted to try it. I didn't think it would be a poor move. I think it would be easy to clear all your
take a second more than anybody else to draw it. It will. I get that, but I'd rather it take me half a second more and me have a gun than I didn't take a gun because I couldn't conceal it.
Yeah, and that's the biggest thing about having people like, hey, I want to have so and so gun, or I want to do so and so. Like, well, are you actually going to carry it? And then are you actually accurate with it? I remember telling you guys at the beginning, I was more accurate with everybody else's EDC gun than my own. So then I had no confidence. So I was like, well, what's the point of having this? I can't have the front side of a barn.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you this. Me personally, I have a concealed carry permit. I have a Leosa creds. So I have the means to carry concealed. And what does that mean to me is like, I don't care if I'm printing. Or, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's not like a big bulge in my shirt, like, oh, that guy's definitely got a gun. But if I got a little bulge, under my girth, I'm okay with that.
I mean,
because
appendix or back where I carry it, those are the best places I found. Yeah. What I'm saying for printing, like, I'll throw a gun on my hip. I love just my hip holsters. I love them in the wintertime when I throw a hoodie over top. Yeah. But you pull a shirt over top of that, dude, that's beyond printing. That's a gun with some cloth over it,
Yeah. And so one thing Misfit's saying is, appendix carry is the only way for slim guys to carry anything larger than a pocket pistol. It's hard. Like Cody says, Cody's been able to do it, and he carries a P320 compact. But it does come down to how you carry, what holster you carry, and what technique to use. Because me, I've tried like 100 times, and every time it just looks like I'm trying to smuggle wrenches. Like my body type, I got to figure out how to do it right, and you got to mess with it. Because every time I'm like, what did you steal? Like, you're obviously shoplifting.
Stop cooking T-shirts into blue jeans, Walsh. That died in the 80s, bro. Let it die.
Like, let it die.
In the wintertime, I tuck my shirts in, but that's because I always wear a hoodie or a big jacket. So I tuck this shirt in so I'm not having to pull more stuff out.
But seriously, here's what it comes down to. I don't care if you carry an ankle holster. I don't care. Just carry. Yeah. Just carry. Because if you're worried that much about it, that means you're on the right side of law, right? If you're a criminal, you don't care about any of this. You're not even watching the show. And I would rather have you out there. You know, I'm not at home. I would rather have you in the same store with my wife with an ankle holster than with nothing.
Yeah,
that's what it comes down to. Just carry.
So here's a good comment from Joe. He said, I don't know. I did the math, and unless something happens while reholstering, the barrel is pointed at the ground. Only reliable pistol I currently have is a Glock 45, though. I do want to. One thing I want to kind of go over here is something dumb you guys see on YouTube a lot, where people reholster quickly. I want to make sure everyone knows that's the stupidest thing on the planet. Everything should be, I practice, and everyone else should too, drawing extremely quickly and doing everything you need to do. And then when I reholster, it is extremely slow. It is extremely slow and purposeful, because you could even get training scars where you're going to do something stupid. So you need to drill into that. Joe would have me go out to the range and shoot. All right, Walsh, you're going to go out and you're going to shoot concealed at the range. And I hadn't really shot a pistol at all, but he had me do so much training and doing it the right way that I was safe and doing it the slow way when it matters and fast when it mattered. Sorry, go ahead, Joe.
Reholstering quickly is really cool in movies and in situations where you have to. The only two that I can think of off the top of my head is for law enforcement when they have to reholster and go hands-on with somebody else. You have multiple threats. So you have to fire your certain weapon at one, and then you have to reholster and keep it from somebody, right? Retain it and go hands-on with somebody. Either that scenario or you're carrying a long gun, right? So you're carrying a long gun, something happened, you draw your pistol instead, you use your pistol and you want to switch to your other weapon. Then holstering quickly might need to be there for you. But other than that, name me a scenario where you have to get your gun back in your holster in 0.5 seconds.
So, and this is just a personal thing for me, but if I, as a concealed carry permit holder, if I get in some situation where I use my weapon, I'm gonna have someone call the authorities, and they're gonna identify who I am. I'm the good guy, right?
Yep.
But I'm gonna clear my weapon. I'm gonna lay on it, and I'm gonna have my credentials and my magazine in my hand, and I'm not gonna reholster it. It doesn't matter at that point. But just know that if something happens and you have to call the authorities, make sure that you're identified as the good guy, because you're going to have a gun on you. So that's just something I was trained to do. So
just know you're going to have a gun on you. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
And this was saying,
you don't want to give it to somebody else, but Cody said it perfect. If you lay on it, you stand on it, set it down on the ground, and put your foot on top of it, and just have your hands up so you're not laying on the ground, whatever. But yeah, I'm not reholstering either. Like, then you're the threat, dude. Then you're the unknown.
That dude put his gun down. You're the unknown, yeah. Misfit said, thank you, Walsh. There's no reason to rush that. Same thing's taking pistols apart fast. Yeah, that's a skill that makes no sense to me. That's guarantee how you do a negligent discharge. One thing I want to share with you guys that Joe taught me, and Joe and Cody both, when I was learning pistols, is when you actually go from draw, if you're really good, and we talk about how pretty much the first person to render the first shot has kind of put the opponent at a disadvantage, because now they have to respond to that round. Even if it's missing, you now have a very loud thing that just happened and you startled someone. And I don't care how good of a shot you are, if you're getting shot at, you're going to have some sort of impact you're shooting. So one thing he showed me is when you actually draw, if your draw then is able to come up immediately rotate, you can actually fire your first shot straight there, even if you miss, because now you're just engaging in make sure you're not, you have the area to miss, but then you're engaging in a method where you can engage, and then you're buying your time to come back up into position. you've now fired 2 and you haven't even married your hands together yet. So really, you could be like bang, 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 and the number of rounds. Who cares if you missed them?
Be careful when you're training that, because people have shot themselves, and there's great videos. You see, there was that one firearms instructor that shot himself clearing the holster, and he's like, I just haven't shot myself. So just be careful, especially when you're bringing that other hand to your hand, that you don't put it in front of your gun. And what Walsh is saying, when we taught him that, when Cody and I talked to him about it, we taught him that, most gunfights happen within 3 feet. So that's what we were training for here. If you're taking a 25-yard shot, do not do that. You're not going to hit your target, and you're going to hit somebody behind you. Know your target and what's behind you.
If they're 25 yards away, you have the option to disengage, flee, or render a different weapon system that's going to be more effective. Get to cover, exactly. Like if I'm at 25 yards and be like, all right, well, stand up there, get some good aim and take that shot. Like, no, dude, run.
Yeah.
Like, run.
Take a knee, at least. Minimum.
The car, we're not going to take that shot.
Yeah. So just train. That's all we can say. Hey, real quick, because Jason's not here to talk about it, but he did that. I forget which subscription he was doing. But
the tech pack. We also have the OLED to talk about. We forgot about the one that just released. The flash sale is going on right now.
We have 3 videos to talk about. We went way off on this tangent, but good point, Joe. Reining us back in. The KTactical build that Jason did. What did you guys think of that?
I thought the price was good. What was it? Like under $40?
$35?
Yeah, so if you just want a belt just in case and you just have a holster on it and you never use it, you're not wearing it every day or whatever, and you don't want to spend a bunch of money, I thought it went good.
Yeah.
No jump to 30 yards.
Now, one thing that Walsh showed in all the other battle belt videos is with the way that stuff was kind of cut out, it took a lot of real estate away the way he had his stuff kind of snaked through there. So that's one thing to be aware of with that particular belt.
And with the Velcro all the time, like it wasn't an inner and outer belt Velcro. Every time you moved that thing, you could hear the Velcro. I could just imagine trying to run. Like you are not going to be sneaky in that belt. That's what I'm saying.
That's a stealth belt. Right.
Yeah, this is not a ninja competition. You're not gonna be jumping off rooftops and not be hurt.
Yeah, and the way everything was connected up, you lost a lot of real estate, and that's the magic of those belts. Because that's even something he talked about, how he had to tighten it up so much because it would just kind of start flopping around, and particularly when you have the holsters like we have, where they fit in the guns extremely tightly, and you have a really crisp, clean draw. But if your belt doesn't support that, you just start yanking up on your side, and you're like, "Oh, this is not going to work."
You have to loosen the retention on it. So, for the money, I think it's good. What?
He's like, "Do you have a Raptor tactical belt?" No, I have something else.
So for the money, if all you have is $40, then go for it. It seemed like a good belt for the money. If you have the extra money, I think Walsh has reviewed better belts.
And that kind of leads me to Raptor Misfit. Tell me which one you want to see again. I think you told me you want to see the Odin 3. I always forget which version. I know I've probably told me like a million times, but I have what I think is going to be the one that's going to replace them all. And this is actually the Blue Force Gear CHLK Combat Helo Load Kit. I believe that's what it stands for. The way it works and kind of cinches together and all connects up is a different style altogether, and it's actually like legitimately load rated. Lateral loads, not lifting loads. So I can't wait to review this and test this out. But it's a totally different idea. I literally just got this today, so I've been playing with it today.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
where did you get that awesome
from?
Gibbs.
This one, actually, TLD bought this one. Weird. I got it from a company called. It's sold out everywhere, but there's a website called Legit Kit that I found it at. That I guess they just buy up a whole bunch of these different brands, and then they have their gear. So I'm surprised to find it. So yeah, I'll let you know.
Anyway, TacPack. It seemed like TacPack this month was trash. It was trash, dude. And if nobody's seen the video, watch Jason's last video on the TacPack, and he does a great job. And not everybody will think the same. Some people could use some of the stuff that he can't. But look at all the gear that he got and compare on whether it's worth it or not. And for him, he spent $150 for $60 worth of gear that he can use. And that's $60 worth of gear retail, not what you find on sale. So, or using TLD discount codes.
Yeah, and like even I looked at the stuff that he had, and I was like, he was being generous. I was like, I don't want most of the stuff he even has there. It's like two things I wanted, which was like the
a forced use. Like, okay, well, I guess I could use a plastic case. I don't know what for, but maybe I could find a use for that case.
Yeah, and some of that stuff he wouldn't even be able to sell or trade for anything.
Nah. So I'm looking forward to the next one. I forget which one that he's doing next.
Battle Box.
So I've never even heard of Battle Box, so I'm looking forward to it.
We did this vote, and like
we're not on belts anymore, Walsh.
No, we are. We are. Misfit's still talking about belts.
No, Misfit, stop feeding Walsh. You already said that he went right on one thing. His ego too huge and his head gets too big. You're showing a belt that you haven't even reviewed yet.
I know, and then we're looking at more. That's what we do. We're like the Battle Belt review channel. That's what we are.
Yeah, you are.
Stuff, thin line defense, but really it's just battle belts.
And how much is the one I have?
Yours? Here, answer Dawson this while I go find that.
We're all reading it instead of talking.
No, so that's a good question. So the next one we're going to is the Battle Boxes. And right now, Jason's the only one that has experience with these things, but this is only the second subscription box he's going to try. So, and then after this quarter, we'll do another voting thing where we'll pick another subscription to go to.
Yeah, we let all of our subscribers pick which one we're going to do next quarter. So Jason had a great idea that he was going to do a different one every quarter. So for this year, and our subscribers pick it. So when Wall sends out those things where you can vote, there's reason behind that. If you want to see something, vote on it, because we're basing our purchases off of those votes.
And I think the Battle Box was like 89%. It totally blew everything else out of the water. Like nobody wanted to see anything else.
Yeah.
So Dawson, you're going to see some Battle Box, and then if there's one you want, like the idea is we're going to do 3 months of 4 different ones, so you can look at one and say, okay, this one's crap. Like don't get Pack, it's horrible. But there may be one that like, okay, you pay a little bit more, you pay like $5 more for Battle Box, but you actually get useful stuff. That's what we're kind of hoping.
Yeah, and if you haven't seen Jason's video on those, he is brutally honest, and he tests stuff. He froze that box for a month.
It worked.
He submerged it and froze it for a month. He submerged it and froze it the day that he got it, and he took it out of the ice. He broke it out of the ice when he got the next box.
Okay, Joe, you're gonna hit me, but Misfit's talking about.
Oh, dude, yeah.
I've been asking to see a Safelite belt forever. We reach out to them. I want to see their armor and their belt so bad. Joe, he's gonna be mad at me.
Yeah, I've been following Safelite forever, dude, forever. Like I want their soft armor, but I don't have $2,000 to spend on soft armor.
And I want to know if it's worth the damn without being an internet shill. That's what I want to know. Like the only people that say it's any good are people getting paid, and that's just how the business works. But I want to know for myself,
dude. Supposedly they have soft armor that stops rifle rounds, soft armor that stops 308. Yeah, dude, but it's $2,000. It's $2,000.
I'm not gonna do that. But Misfit, if you're looking also for a multicam black belt, another one I'm working on. This is with Wilder Tactical. They actually do a multicam black. It's more of a minimalistic belt style, though. If you can kind of see, it's not necessarily Molle, but the entire area is open like it would be Molle. This is probably the fastest belt install I ever did. It was super easy. And it even comes with I have the wrong magazine pouches. I talked to them. I was having some issues. They're going to send me the correct ones. But these actually come where you can adjust the angle of them, too. So this is all pretty cool, too.
And then I still have a cam belt that you sent me.
Oh, the Eagle. No, the Eagle operator. That's like the Ford of all battle belts. We don't want that thing.
That's why I have it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was yours to begin with, and I was like, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, is that why you sent it back? No, I mean, it was yours always. It's just
If he's gonna shoot a belt, let's send him this junk. All right. Anyway, off the belts.
Yeah. So yeah, Dawson says I've been doing my research about which one to potentially work with based on you guys' experience. Hashtag free market research. That's the idea. I'm hoping the battle box is actually going to be good. The reviews that suck are always good though, because people want to see those. Like, how bad is it? Like, at least he's honest. I love how Jason is at least honest that puke colored whatever hat he got was horrible.
Yeah, and you could tell other people were chiming in like, I got the same hat. It's terrible. I got the hat and the Velcro isn't even aligned properly. It's all like catawampus sewed on. Like if you don't read the comments, you should scroll through the comments.
I saw that one guy's like, I can't believe it. I got this stupid horrible hat and it's not even sewed on straight. I was like, man, I'm not even gonna comment like this. That's so bad.
These comments sell themselves.
Like, oh my goodness. Misfit, yeah, if you don't like it stiff, that Wilder Tactical is not super stiff, but when you wear it, okay, I've worn every single belt there is. When you put them on, you don't need a stiff belt because it's stiff once you lock everything up. It can get too stiff to the point where things are annoying. This one doesn't do that. I could actually wear this in plain clothes. My Ronin, there's no way. That stupid thing is like 2 inches thick. There's no way I'm going to wear that in normal clothes. This one I could wear. I was even saying to my wife, like, I can throw this under a shirt and you can't even tell. So
at this point, I think Walsh should just pulling up comments that deal with belts.
Yeah. Skip the rest.
He's like, nope. Oh, that one belt. So let me pull that comment up.
Is FRA, is that that type of belt? I'll pull it up.
All right.
No. Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say why you were.
I'm joking. All of our viewers, I'm joking with Walsh. I'm giving them a hard time. I love it. This entire live chat is based for you guys. If you guys want to talk about belts for 3 hours, we're going to talk about belts for 3 hours. Yeah. I'm just joking.
That'll be the best live chat ever.
We didn't even know about that other belt. He just picked up. He's like, look at this thing. And we're like, oh.
We have, so yeah. So we also have a partnership that you guys probably don't even know about with HRT. They do the Maximus plate carrier, Maximus placard. So I'm going to be showing this soon too. I can probably get more. I'm probably going to get more of these for the team. So no, you guys probably got some coming your way too. These are really awesome. Let's make sure that this is an option that you know about. If you like the Spiritus and don't want and actually want to like put it together, this is a much better option because you can actually get the parts you need and it comes with everything together.
And I got an RDR.
You do. Yeah. I got a girly flashlight on mine.
Yeah, show them your Barney flashlight.
Listen, there's nothing more manly than purple. And if you really want to be manly, you get purple and pink.
I like purple.
I like purple. Yeah. Dude, I'll buy a plum crazy charger. Don't even tempt me.
Which is HRT just had a pre-order multicam black. Yeah, so I had mentioned that that I wanted to do that. But they're like, well, we'll send you a multicam for now. Like, okay, that's fine.
Well, I'm excited that you might be getting more placards because I'm going to let the cat out of the bag. I received a stimulus check, and in my infinite wisdom, I decided to stimulate the economy with it, like you're supposed to. And I went on to LA Police Gear. I used our code TLD10 for LA Police Gear. And I actually ordered the plate carrier that Walsh reviewed. I fell in love with that based off of the review. I wasn't joking. He swayed me to buy one when I didn't need one. And I also bought 2 plates for it. I think I paid like $320, I think, for a plate carrier and 2 plates. $320 with our code TLD10. And that should be coming in. And then I had Walsh reach out. Huh? I had Walsh reach out and I said, hey, I'm sure our viewers would really appreciate knowing if the plates will actually stop anything. So can you throw in an extra plate? I don't want to spend my money on a plate that I'm going to shoot. And they were like, yeah, sure. So I have an extra plate coming in. I plan to shoot it a bunch, but you know how plates work. I'm going to hit it so many times that eventually I'm going to fail. But I'm going to shoot it with 9, 40, What else did I say, Walsh? 940, 556, 762, 308, 6mm arc. If there's still anything left, 45.
You gonna go backwards? Or you're gonna go lowest to highest. Or you're gonna go highest to lowest.
I'm gonna start with pistol and go up to rifle.
Okay.
Because pistol's not well placed, I guess.
I'm just saying it may it could fail. Like I'm just saying there could be a result where it could fail. Like if the 6mm fail, it's because it's been shot 25 times.
And that could happen. That could happen. And I'm gonna shoot everything from like 20 yards away.
Yeah.
So
do it that way. Oh, so Joe was saying that FRAS thing he was saying was Safelight's armor system.
Oh, yeah.
We've been wanting to see that.
Yeah. I wish. I don't have $2,000. I don't have $2,000 to buy one for myself, let alone to shoot.
And I think it's too expensive for people to shoot. Like nobody's testing it because it's too expensive to just go rip rounds at. Dude,
I want it so bad though. Like armor system that you can put underneath your shirt that stops 308. Come on now.
But like I'm a physics guy. Like I understand.
So it's based off of the same principle, level 4 plates. So it's actually ceramic, and they're like hexagons. But because they're hexagon, they can move around. Nah, don't even start. Damn it! I should have said hexagon. I should have said circular patterns. So anyway, they're underneath all of the soft stuff, and they're in front of like a level 3 normal Kevlar. So the ceramic breaks the rifle round apart, and then the Kevlar actually stops it.
Okay. All right. I want to see it.
Yeah, there's video from Safelite of them shooting it. You know how that works, but
yeah, I like Tactical Rifleman too, but I want to see some nobody shoot it. I say that it's just so much more genuine when you have somebody who doesn't make their life from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, my livelihood is based on how well this video performs. Get somebody who doesn't have any livelihood based on the outcome of the video, and you're probably going to get a little bit more of an honest response.
Yeah, and we're not saying that they're not honest. I would buy one right now. I believe everything that, I won't say everything. I believe that it will stop a 308 round. I'll put my faith in it, and I would buy it and wear it. I just don't have $2,000.
Mm-hmm.
Not when my level 4 plates just cost me $320. So
right.
Yeah. Dawson, you talk about he's asking some of the difference between ceramic versus steel, trade off his weight, but one is superior in terms of holdup. So there's a lot to unpackage here. Remember that when a round hits steel, it lands flat and then travels along the edges. So any of those plates that have that rhino lining or whatever will probably last 1 to 2 rounds, and then the remainder of that is going to go all into your neck and arms and gut. Just know that's what's going to happen. It'll probably stop. It'll stop way more than 1 or 2 rounds, but after that, that spalling is going to be a problem. And not only
it rips it right off of it. If you've seen anybody shoot steel, the first round, the second round, and then you can just it splits along the outsides of the seam, and then you can just pull the whole rhino lining or whatever right off the front of the plate. Like it completely separates it.
And so from a team standpoint too, if we're running the 4 of us and one of us is running steel, we're going to tell that guy go away, because if you get hit, you're way more likely to hit the rest of us.
Yeah, so, you're in the front or the back. You ain't. I stand beside you.
No. So steel is super dangerous in that. Now you kind of can get sold on this 25-year shelf life. Now don't get caught up in this 5-year NIJ. That's as long as good as ceramic is good for.
I've shot ceramic plates that are 15-year-old, and they stopped. Like, I think we were only shooting them with 7.62, but I think it took 14 rounds at 25 yards to finally get a piece through the back of it. Not a round, a piece of a round.
It would be like saying for some reason your toilet's no good after 5 years because it's just like come apart. I mean, obviously it's porcelain, not ceramic, but you get the idea. Like it's nothing's going to change in it. So Dawson, I really, really recommend, particularly with the level of ceramic plates we're seeing now for $99 for one. I mean, you get Hesco 4401s. They're heavy though, or you can get the LA Police gear. That's the best one I found for the price. They are the 1-inch thick ones though, so your plate carrier just needs to make sure it can accept those. That's why we do the plate tests on the carriers to make sure they can carry all the plates, because some of them, like I did the Grey Ghost Gear one that's coming out this weekend, doesn't hold all of them, and you just need to know that when you're purchasing. It's not a thing against them. You just need to know.
LA Police Gear carrier is $90 right now with our code. It's $90 with our code right now. So
in multicam.
Yeah, in multicam. So even if your plate carrier doesn't fit the plates are at such a discounted rate, and with our code. I mean, don't believe me? Go on LA Police Gear right now. Throw them in your cart and put TLD 10 at the end of it. Just throw it in there. And holy cow, like you can get 2 plates and the carrier for $320. 320 and some change shipped to my house. You got to select the free shipping though. Heads up. If you leave it alone, it's like 5-day shipping for like X amount of money. No, I'll take it in 8 days for free.
Yeah. And Harry's on here talking. He's like, the LA Police Gear is awesome. Asked a few people, including my Army buddy, and they thought it was worth at least $200, $250. This thing is quality. We got them all, man. I got Deodons. I got Grey Ghost. I have SMCs. I have everything to think of, and I have this LA Police Gear. And I was like, guys, I'm gonna do this one first because this thing costs nothing, and it's actually really good. And
Walt did the video, and Cody and I both bought a plate carrier based off of Walt's video. We're like, I don't even need this. I'm buying it.
Not only that, but we had the CEO on a couple weeks ago, and what did he say? He said he has a lot of the other plate carrier manufacturers in his facility, and he looks at them and he's like, okay, what works and what doesn't work? And then they take what works and they put it in their plate carrier.
Yeah, so and you can even put side plates in the cummerbund. I didn't order side plates, but you could put side plates in the cummerbund.
I mean, let's put it in perspective. I was reviewing this week a $500 plate carrier, and I think the LA Police Gear is more comfortable.
Yeah, and mine went 320 with plates.
This is $500 it's a fantastic carrier, don't get me wrong, but we're talking a fifth of the price. And which one would I pick, regardless of price? I would probably pick the LA Police Gear, which is crazy. And I really like the Grey Ghost one.
You could buy one in each color, and
you could, yeah. You make sense. I'm trying to see what else we have here. Harry, I LARP around. I LARP around with my belt and plate carrier now. Level 4 plates been doing push. There you go.
Yeah.
Joe, we should talk about our push-up challenge. So if you want to join me and Joe, I'll go find the video and I'm going to put a link to it. We're doing a 30-day challenge. There's this horrible video where what's the song, Joe?
Bring Sally up, bring Sally down.
So this guy and I'm like, so I'm talking mad trash. And we're getting way off topic, but I guess this is a good live chat. But I'm talking like mad trash because I do the same thing as you, Harry. I put my feet up on the back of the couch. I do my decline push-ups. I can rock them out. And I do it with my heaviest plates on, and my carrier, my belt, everything. And I've been doing it for ages. So I'm like, oh, this guy wants to do push-ups, man. I'm going to wreck you. He says, all right, we're going to do 30. I'm like, you idiot. Like, what kind of baby numbers are these? We're going to do 30? Man, I got to what? 7? I was like, oh, no. Like, I'm done. I'm done. So if you guys want to join us, I'll put the link in here. We're on like day 2 or so. We're not very far. So you could join us for this month, and we can talk about it as we go through this live chat. I'll get it while Joe's talking.
Yeah, do it. But we're supposed to do it, what, twice a week? I'm going to bump it up to 3 times a week after this week. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday I'm going to do it.
I'm doing it every other day is what I'm doing.
Oh, so you're cheating. Got it. And Harry, it's not LARPing. It's testing out your gear, man. You got to test out your gear, bro.
Yeah.
You got to test it out.
But I'm not doing no sit-ups or push-ups or nothing because I'm retired. I don't do that stuff.
Coding retired. Hey, Walt, do me a favor. I'm talking about things that are coming up. While we're talking, pull up Liberty Home Concealment. Pull up their website and go to their flag.
Oh, real quick, though. I will do that. Okay, talk to Harry about side plates. I fell for side plates, and then there's a time and a place for side plates. I'll pull that up. Liberty Home Concealment.
Yeah. The time and place when you get shot in the side, Harry. You can only have them and not put them in. But I'm telling you right now, if you get shot in the side, you're dead. Because in hunting world, everybody knows double lung heart shot. Everybody knows the double lung heart shot. And that's why military and law enforcement are trained to shoot with a modified Weaver stance where their plates are positioned towards the enemy. If you get shot in the side, it's going through both lungs and your heart. You're done. You're dropped. So the time and place when you're getting shot in the side, that's when you need them. If you can stand the extra weight, then throw them in there.
In the military, though, we usually see them when we're traveling in vehicles, though, don't we? And you guys usually do side plates?
Yeah, I mean it all depends.
It depends
I mean, in the when I'm in Afghanistan, I wear them all over the place. You know, it's like that on dang, I can't think right now. Black Hawk Down, where you like take out your back plate. You know, I don't expect to be running away from the enemy or whatever. Dude, you never know when you're doing something and somebody pops up on the side of you.
Yeah.
If you're walking down the street, that can happen.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to tell everybody about this stuff, right? I ordered the 3-compartment one. So Jason went to Tactical Walls and bought one of their tactical walls, the mirror, if you've seen it, where you have to cut out all the drywall out of your wall, and it looks like a normal mirror. I didn't want to go that route. I wanted a flag. So I reached out to that company, Liberty Home Concealment, and said, hey, you know, I want to order a flag, but if I do that and we review it, can you at least give our viewers a discount? And they said, hey, if you buy a flag from us and you review it, of course, we'll give your viewer a discount. Yeah, that's when I ordered that one. So I'm really interested in that flag. That's the one I ordered. The code, I think, is going to be TLD. We will we'll make sure that we reach out and give it to you guys. I think it's going to be about 10%. I'm still working with them. Click on that one, the American flag with the "Don't Tread on Me." That one. That's one I ordered. Dang, that looks nice, right? That looks nice. So I don't want to cut a big hole in my wall. And Jason and I are going to kind of compare the difference of the two with his tactical wall and my flag. I like that one, but the coloring off, dude. This won't be a black background with a white POW.
I like this one. Like, that's like simple and subtle.
Yeah.
And people don't hate it.
Yeah, the Punisher one looked cool too. I won't got it. Yeah, that one. I like that one. Yeah, but they have some vertical stuff too. They also have some furniture stuff. So if you want to hide a gun and a lamp, or you want your entire coffee table to slide open, picture frames, they do a bunch of stuff. It's a little bit pricey, you know. I think the flag that I ordered was $350. So it's a little bit pricey, but I don't have to cut a hole in the wall, and it's still cheaper than Jason Tactical Wall. So
I bought a picture frame one off of Etsy, or I didn't buy it. I got it as a gift, but
yeah, I saw that one. That one was cool.
Yeah, I got my Glock 19 in there with an extra mag.
Yeah, and not the best if you have kids and you go in and out of it and your kids learn how to open it. Yeah, nah, that ain't good. But if nobody ever knows that it's in there, or if you're just hiding valuables, you know, somebody breaks into your house, they see a wooden welcome home sign or faith, family, and freedom sign, they're probably not going to think twice about it.
Like,
they have the magnetic locks in them.
Who's going to be worried when they just see the Duke? Like, oh, he gave me the old John Wayne. Like, look at him. You're like, I saw him like gun tighten in there.
So we're working out the detail for the subscriber for a discount code. And if it's good, I'll let you know. If it's junk, I'll let you know. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Again, stimulating the economy.
Yeah. One quick question from Misfit that I don't know the answer to, and then I'll say what I'm working on. But I don't know the answer to this. Do you have any plate carrier shoulder pads you recommend?
Yeah, I recommend a tighter cummerbund.
Oh, wait. Okay, so you're talking about like you talking about like armor padding or actual like shoulder pads? I'm pretty sure you're talking about.
If it's like level 3 ballistic, I don't know. But Walsh is going to go show you some shoulder pad because he's not wearing his plate carrier correctly. Right, Cody?
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to go grab my
And I'm with you. You don't really need these. And I'm with Joe. I put these on, and they're more just this fashion sense. They're not that useful because, like,
you can't see.
You can't see me?
No, like, we see the Duke. There we go.
Oh, I'm sorry. I have some of the Raptor Tactical on here, but as Joe said, you don't need these. So if you size up the plate carrier correctly, where a good bit of the force is on the cummerbund, and some of it's on your shoulders. You're kind of displacing all of the weight. If it's just on your shoulders, that means you don't have it sized up quite right. And Joe, correct me if I'm here, but I've always gone with it should be tight, but not like if you take a deep breath, you should notice it. But other than that, it shouldn't be so much that it was really going to bother you.
So whenever I would do it, mine was a cummerbund in the front with Velcro, like Cody, and a zipper and a cummerbund. I would take the biggest breath that I could. I would hike up my shoulder like I'm doing a shoulder press or whatever, shrug. Yep, a shrug like Cody's doing. I'd hike up my shoulder like that. I would take the deepest breath in that I could and suck in my gut as much as I could. I would get it as tight as I could, and then I would just relax. And
So, I mean,
that's hiking miles in Afghanistan.
yeah. I mean, if you're wearing it all day, it's somehow, some way magic. It's going to kind of, your sweat's going to absorb into it, and it's just going to relax. Like it's going to stretch a little bit as you go throughout the day. But you're going to, like you said, you're wearing it around your house and you're LARPing and stuff, but you'll feel hot spots and stuff like that. You just got to readjust it until you kind of work the kinks out of it.
Yep, and about halfway through the day after walking through villages and stuff, once I got, within the security of our trucks, kind of in the center of it, I would open up my cummerbund and do it again.
Yeah.
And it's a good lesson, too, on learning what's too much. When you start to have too much weight on your shoulders, that's when you need to have that realistic look at your gear and say, like, okay, is this too much to carry around? Like my one that I lift in, that's kind of like my go long setup. I wouldn't bring that anywhere unless Joe told me, like, hey, Walsh, we're going to go ruck to Kansas, and I need you to bring everything you own. Otherwise, I'm not putting that on because it's horrible. So don't put too much weight in there, but also keep doing what you're doing. We laugh about LARPing around, but that's how you realize how your gear works and what doesn't work, how to fit it and size it right. If you're looking at the LA Police Crew, and I didn't use the pad that's in there, I actually took that out so that I could actually cinch it down and get it so the plate carrier sits in the correct place. And the front and the rear, I need it to be a little bit tighter, just the way my body shape is, and that keeps things actually seated properly. So I took pads out. I didn't add pads.
Yep.
What's he saying? Is there some kind of belt that you wear under it that helps support the plate carrier?
I don't know.
Don't do those. You can. KTactical does those. They are a huge pain to take on and off. Like it'll take you like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And that takes away your range of motion.
Mm-hmm. Your belt is an
integrated battle belt too. You just, man. Yeah.
It's like an X frame in the back.
So like Walsh was talking about, you want that plate up high, and you don't want it to necessarily sit on your belt. Like, yeah, if you get hit in the gut underneath your plate, it's going to make a lot of squishy and a lot of blood and stuff like that. But it's not so many vital organs down in your girth. But you want to protect your heart, your lungs, and go from there. But you want that plate to sit up kind of high.
Yeah, I like to think of it like you should be able to fit a fanny pack underneath. Like you should be able to just, because that's something you may want to do with one of those a fanny pack, because it makes a good med kit, or even those danglers.
The nut sacks, yeah.
Yeah, the nut sacks, they sit right there like where a fanny pack would. That's where you kind of see. All right, cool. Here, history, got it. So let us know if you have any more questions. Though, you can even send us some pictures and say, hey, is this right?
Yeah, shoot us an email and.
Misfit, need a smaller cummerbund for what carrier?
So you could pull that cummerbund out, and you could be able to tighten it in the back.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah.
I don't remember exactly how that.
Brand?
It
was LA Police Crew, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
No, that was Harry. Harry had the.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not cinching down, then yeah. And then what Walsh and Cody were both saying, think about the side plates in your cummerbund. Those are designed to protect your lungs, not your love handles. So if your side plates are at your love handles, it's not right. You need to hike that sucker up.
He's using LB.
Yeah, I'd have to see what that cummerbund looks like. But typically in the back, if you pull it out of the back, it'll have some kind of bungee system that's tied together. And if you just cinch it up a little bit, it'll be tighter.
Yep. And I think Walsh's mic finally died.
No,
now we
he's
don't have to
looking.
listen. Now we don't have to listen about belts anymore.
I think he's looking for the LBX to look at the cummerbund.
Let's see. Hey, Walsh, say something.
I'm muted. Hold on, I'm looking.
Oh, he muted it. So he was having a mic problem before we went live where I couldn't hear him. But anyway, yeah, it's fun. A plate. If you're wearing a plate carrier thing, have gone really bad. So yeah.
All right,
Man,
so
that cummerbund's low anyway. That
yeah,
cummerbund's
there's lower. So okay, so what you should be able to do, if I'm looking at this, some of them tie into the actual plate carrier via bungee, and you can adjust them. Most of the time, though, there's just going to be 3 segments that you then bungee together. You like kind of weave them together, and I have to do this a lot, where you then have to open up that weaving and then adjust it so that it fits you properly. So usually I undo it, feed it back in, test it. Damn it, I
Or
gotta
have a buddy do it.
Mm-hmm. Or have a friend while you're sitting there, and then you get it set right. Then you never have to bother with it again. But you do have to pull it out, mess with it, and make sure it's not just like killing you when it should be tight. And maybe that's something we'll do a video on how to properly size a plate carrier, because we're talking
about
able
to jump up and down and it not bump you in the chin.
If it's bouncing when you're bouncing, it's bad.
Yeah.
Look at the price on that thing.
That's a little expensive.
Oh, not me. Don't show me.
Yeah. Gross.
How much is that?
$230.
$230.
That's a good price, man. Looks like eyes wide. Looks like a corset. They all look like that. They all have that style.
It pretty much is. It's a manly corset.
Yeah. And yeah, this style.
And it's hard to do. It's really hard to do, and I'm guilty of doing it. I understand that, but try to keep the weight off the sides of the cummerbund also. So if you can put your mags on the front, like that's only a 3-mag setup. The way that we run, we had to run 2 pistol mags, 7 rifle mags, med kit, radio, and normally a pouch for like pen and paper and stuff like that. But try to keep weight off of the cummerbund, and if you have to put weight on the cummerbund, then use lighter materials. And then be cognizant of where you put your med kit. If it's on your right side and you lose use of your right arm, you better be able to reach it with your left. Your med kit should be somewhere where you can get to it with either hands. But anyway.
Braden, is there an accessory tab or something where you can look at the...
Let me see.
No, they're not going to show that it's not adjustable.
Oh, that's just silly.
They want you to buy it and then find out that it's not adjustable.
Right here.
Yeah, click on that.
See right here. It's in the back. That's what I'm talking about.
He's saying
if his is already maxed out or like all the way down,
or if it's the elastic one.
If it's the elastic one, then go on to LA Police Gear and look at their plate carrier.
And they're not expensive. I mean, you look at that one. You can go and find cummerbunds. Now, matching the patterns and stuff like that may be difficult, but
but you should be able to do the same one like we said, where you pull it out. It's going to feel like you're breaking it, like when you're pulling it out of there. But you just keep yanking on it, and then it'll come out, and you get those. You connect up those ends.
Yeah, it might be velcroed in or tied in. Just look at your plate carrier and try to get to that. It looks like from the pictures, does have a great. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, that's good. A lot of them don't, because most of them have government contracts, so they don't do law enforcement or military discount, because that's where 90% of their money comes from. So why would they discount for them? So they don't do that.
Yeah, I've had a company said if we did military discount, then we would go broke.
Yeah.
It's like, well, okay.
We're at an hour 30, guys.
Yeah, I think this live chat has gone straight off the rails. It's been very useful. I think we talked about
still in here. Just saying.
Do what?
Everybody's still in here.
No, I know. We'll call it though, so we'll leave some things for you guys to eat on later. I have all kinds of stuff we're going to come out in the future. We got more plate carriers we're working on. I got Grey Ghost Gear SMC coming out this weekend. We have some muzzle devices. We have some optics. We have, what is this thing? We have the Primary Arms MD25 ACSS. There's all kinds of stuff we got coming for you guys. If you have questions about plate carriers, placards, we're going to be doing a ton on placards. I got more belts. We're just going to keep rolling stuff out. But in reality, let me know what you want to see. The last thing we want to do is make videos that nobody wants to watch. So if you say, hey, I want to see the LBX plate carrier, I want to see, I know you guys keep telling me you want to see that Raptor Mark III. I know. If you want to see the Raptor Mark III, just keep telling me and I'll eventually go buy it. And then we'll actually show it. So big thanks to everyone. I appreciate it. That's my last spiel.
Yeah, and mine, and I get to shoot stuff. I get to shoot a plate, and I get to get a cool flag to put my guns in. So I'm excited. That's it for me.
No, but like Walsh was saying, if you guys are interested in seeing the way we set our stuff up, we're by no means professionals, but we know what works for us. If you're curious on how we do that, then let us know. We can pop out a couple videos on how we do our gear.
Cool.
That's
bring us
it.
home, Cody.
What's up?
Said bring us home.
Oh no, I enjoy this format where we're just talking to you guys. We come on here, we say that the whole reason why we do the live chat is to talk about our previous videos, but if all we're going to do is shoot the shit with you guys, I would much rather do that. So keep the questions coming, keep engaging with us. We love it. Again, we're just like you guys. We get together and bitch at each other on our chat about different gear and stuff like that. So we're just doing the same thing you guys want to do, but we like to do it on YouTube for you guys. So keep on coming out each week and hanging out with us. But we appreciate it, and we'll see you next week. See you.